Okay, so as you know, my name is Hilary. I am actually Hilary Hall. Not my name today. And I am.
Well, explain that one to you later.
Yeah, I already have. Yeah, it got flipped around a bit.
Very sorry.
Yeah, no, you were alright. And it is a real pleasure to be here today with so many people who care about their village halls and communities as much as we do. So I am here to talk about Winmarleigh Village Hall and over the last 8 years how a small committee with a can-do attitude has helped transform it into a thriving, well-used community space. So imagine that many of you are in a similar position to where we started. A small committee, limited time, limited funds, but a strong sense that your village hall could be more, and that was certainly us. So where did we start? Well, it was about 8 years ago, and we had a hall that, like many others, had potential, but that wasn't being used to its full extent. The building needed attention, bookings were limited, but there wasn't a strong sense of regular activities bringing people in. And like many committees, we are small. Everyone has busy lives, and there was always more to do than time to do it. But what we did have was a shared mindset. Let's not focus on what we cannot do, let's focus on what we can do. So then we started with the building renovations. So we knew that if we wanted people to use the hall, it had to be a place that actually people wanted to spend time in. So we began with improvements, but we did approach it in a structured way. We started by getting quotes, applying for grants, and we were fortunate enough to successfully secure funding for a number of our projects. But as you all know, it wasn't straightforward. We also experienced being unsuccessful with some grant applications, but what that really taught us was an important lesson. Don't give up at the first hurdle. We have learned from those experiences, we've improved our applications, but we kept trying, and over time that persistence paid off. So from there we were able to plan properly, we prioritised what we needed to do most, and then we worked through it step by step. We didn't try to do everything all at once. Some of the projects were big and some were small, but every single one moved us forward. We prioritised, we planned, and we got stuck in. Thank you. And alongside those improvements, one thing we have always focused on is keeping the hall clean, well presented and welcoming. Some of those don't feel like that. So we regularly receive comments about how much of a difference this has made, and it really does set the tone from the moment people walk through the door. And as the hall improved, people noticed and they started to come back. So we started creating something regular, which was the monthly cafe. And this was our biggest turning point. It began simply, tea, coffee and some homemade cakes. But we did have a little bit of hope thrown in. People came, and over time it's grown. We introduced cooked meals, specials, fresh baking, and we focused on quality local produce. People just didn't come back, they brought others with them. But what we didn't expect was how important the cafe would become socially. For some, it's their main outing, but for others it's a chance to feel connected. And that's when we realised we weren't just running a cafe, we were building a community. And what we are especially proud of at Winmarleigh Village Hall is involving young people in many ways. They set up and wait on tables, wash up, and in doing so they gain confidence, they gain skills and a sense of belonging. But it didn't stop at the cafe. They also help out at numerous events held at the Village Hall. supporting larger functions, serving food, collecting and drying glasses, and getting involved wherever they are needed. This gives them even more experience. It builds their confidence and it helps them feel like a real part of the team. But it also brings generations together in a natural way. Alongside the cafe, we have built up some regular fundraising events that bring together and help support the hall. So we run monthly events, which is the John Towers Big Band Night, our regular Meet Bingo Night and Friday Fun Games Night. These events are not only great fundraisers, they are something the local community really looks forward to. At our Big Band Nights, we also offer a free drink as a thank you to those who play in the band, which is always appreciated and helps create that welcoming atmosphere. In addition to this, we generate income through bar takings, which I know you've touched on, and this really does make a real difference. It is run by the committee at numerous events throughout the year, such as our tribute nights, special birthdays, christenings, conferences, weddings, funerals, and just lately, our baby showers. We also offer catering for these events if needed, which makes it easier for people to choose their hall as a one-stop venue. But something that has really made a difference is our personal approach that we take. From the moment somebody books the hall, we take the time to get to know them, understand what they want from their event or celebration. And this allows us to tailor the food and drink to their needs and even decorate the hall to suit their occasion. But just as importantly, we make sure the hall is clean and prepared for those users. Because first impressions really do matter, and it's something people do comment on. And that extra level of care helps create a memorable event and encourages people to come back and recommend the hall to others. And just to give you a quick example of that, is we recently had a wedding at the hall, and from the very start we took the time to get to know the couple, understand exactly what they wanted from their wedding day, and we were able to tailor the food, personalise the bar, and help decorate that room so it really reflected them. On the day, everything came together beautifully, but what really stood out was how much it meant to them that it felt personal. It wasn't just a venue, it was their wedding, their way, and that's what we tried to do every time. Create something that feels special. Thank you. So we make a point of celebrating and recognising our volunteers and local businesses that support us by holding an event for them with food and drink as a way of showing our appreciation, because without their support, none of this would be possible. And just to reflect this, is the far corner is our Big Band Night. They come to us free of charge, and as I've touched on, we say thank you in giving them some drinks. The bar is open, and we do serve food on that evening. The one on the left-hand side bottom is one of our tribute nights, which was the Shirley Bassey. Actually, it was our New Year's Eve. The one in the middle was the wedding I've just spoke about, and the love side was created as well by a person on the committee. This was our, I'm trying to think, another New Year's Eve, and again this is Wyberg Council's awards evening that we did for them. So, we are still a small committee, there's 6 of us. But something really important we have learned is this: not everybody wants to be on a committee, and not everyone has the time. But we all need to remember that doesn't mean that they don't want to help. And once we understood this, everything changed. We started to involve people in ways that worked for them. So, for example, we have a decorator that comes in at least once a year, free of charge. We have a graphic designer who designs, prints our posters, flyers and tickets for events. We have a joiner, plumber and electrician who are always willing and on hand to help, which he was last night. As well as many volunteers who help with our social media, cutting of the grass, our hedge cutting, the list is endless. None of these people are on the committee, but we are all part of the Winmarleigh team, and that is what makes Winmarleigh Village Hall work. It takes the pressure off, it creates shared ownership, and it keeps things sustainable. Another thing that has really helped us at the Hall grow is the wide range of users and groups who now use it. We are proud to have such a varied mix, including Winmarleigh farmers, Lancaster Pony Club, we do say ponies must stay outside, Manchester Metropolitan University, many cycling groups from around Lancashire for time trials, Wyabura Council, caravanning groups through the winter for hard standing, Age UK, we have slight Indian population who use us for Diwali, Cochrane Football Club, birthdays and family celebrations, weddings, christenings and funerals, Garstang Show Committee, Lancashire Wildlife Trust and Lancaster Canal Fishery Pike Canal, and that is to name a few. But this variety has brought new life into the hall. It's not just used by the village, it's become the space that connects us to the wider community and surrounding areas. And that diversity of users helps keep the hall busy. It keeps us relevant and sustainable. Alongside this, we also have a number of regular weekly groups that use the hall, line dancing, yoga, Pilates, boxercise. And these regular bookings are incredibly important. They bring consistency, they keep the hall busy week in, week out, and they help build a strong sense of community. The next slide, please. So we've started to think beyond what just happens in the hall. So recently we have introduced something a little differently. We have added a cake and egg shed in the car park. It's a simple idea, but it's made a real difference. It provides access to homemade cakes, biscuits and local produce for not just the village of Winmarleigh, but the surrounding rural communities as well. It's another way the hall supports everyday life, not just through events or private hire, but in small, practical ways. And again, it's that same mindset, looking for opportunities and be willing to try something new. This is open from Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, bank holidays it's open, and we open from 9 till 6. One thing we are particularly proud of at the Village Hall is One thing we are particularly proud of is that the other village halls in the area have been in touch with us over the last number of years, and they've asked us how we have managed to transform the hall. We are always happy to share what we have learned. We believe in being honest, supportive and helping each other where we can, because at the end of the day, it's not our village hall, it belongs to the community. We are simply the caretakers doing our best to look after it and help it thrive for others in years to come. So looking ahead, and importantly, we are not standing still. We are always looking at how we can keep the hall up to date and continue to improve it for the future. Our latest project is new windows and doors, which we have been lucky to receive a grant for £30,000. And beyond that, we have already had new and exciting ideas in the pipeline. Because for us, it's not just about continuing to move forward, it's making sure the hall is evolving with the needs of the community. So what have we learned on the committee? So within the committee, we've learned to share the load, support each other, play to people's strengths and be a team, because not everyone has to do everything that makes it because that makes it manageable. At the heart of everything that we do is our can-do attitude. We don't wait for perfect conditions. We try things, we adapt and we learn. And that simple mindset of, let's give it a go, has carried us through everything. And then something happened that's meant a lot to us. In December of last year, and it's over there on the table, we were completely shocked to hear that we had won Community Venue of the Year for 25-26 for the northwest of England and Manchester. And yes, that's Little or Winmarleigh.
Oh.
And then in February of this year, we were shocked again to receive Outstanding Community Venue of the Year. But what makes these awards more special was that these awards came from anonymous nominations. And people had quietly taken their time to recognise what the hall meant to them. We didn't expect it, and we didn't ask for it. But it showed us that we are actually making a real difference. So don't be afraid to ask for support. Include your local businesses, corporate organisations. And sometimes we all assume the answer's going to be no when we ask. But actually, they can only say no. And sometimes they will say yes. Whether it's sponsorship, materials, skills or time, there are often tradesmen within your area and organisations that are willing to help if you just ask. And those partnerships can make a real difference, as we at Winmarleigh Village Hall know. So, what have we learned? Well, if there's anything that we can pass on, it's this. Next slide, thank you. Start small, but start. Make your hall inviting. Create something regular, but focus on quality. Involve your community in ways that suit them, but be open to new ideas, even the simple ones. Don't be afraid to ask for help, but never underestimate what a small team can achieve. So in closing, I would like to finish with this. Those awards were a wonderful moment, but they aren't really the achievement. The real achievement is this: a hall full of life, people chatting over coffee, young people growing in confidence, and a community that feels connected. But none of this would not be possible without our amazing committee. Those people who volunteer their time and commitment and dedication day in, day out. That's what really makes it all happen. And that's something every one of you can create. Thank you. You don't need a big committee. You just need people willing to help in whatever way they can. And the confidence to say, let's give it a go, because that's exactly how we started. Thank you.